Okay guys, we finally did it. After a year since I bought this car, we finally got it road legal now. Finally got the plates, had to pass all the inspections. You know, that was a huge process in itself, but we did it, we succeeded, we didn't give up. And now I've got a dirt cheap V10 supercar that I could drive on the streets. And let me just tell you, this car is an absolute blast. Now later in this video, we're gonna be really ripping it, giving you a sense of what it's like to have such an amazing car, what it sounds like, what it feels like. But let me bring you up to speed if you haven't seen any of the other videos. I bought this car from a junkyard, had it show up right here on this street, June of last year. We didn't have a shop back then. I didn't own any BMWs. I didn't know anything about BMWs. Completely just raw dogging the V10 life and buying the car that scares every mechanic. And of course it was broken, no title, nothing. I had no clue what I was doing. So we quickly got to work, tried to figure out what we could here in the driveway, replacing the battery, doing some ignition coils, getting rid of those misfires. We got the engine running pretty well, but the transmission had issues. The car would not move forward. It moved like an inch or two, but that's about it. Of course, this car has the SMG3 transmission, the one that nobody likes, everyone hates, has all kinds of issues. And right around that time, we were lucky enough to get the Backspeed Boys shop where we do all of our awesome builds. And we took it to the shop, got it up on our lift, and we're able to take a deeper dive. And of course, we were able to have some real mechanics come in, and they told me, run to the hills. You're in way over your head. You have no idea what you're dealing with. They said, sell the car, get rid of it. It's worth whatever a running engine's worth. Just dump it. I put it up for sale, had a lot of interest in this car. A lot of you guys reached out and said, don't give up, man. Don't be a little pussy ass bitch. Just get back out there, fix the car, get it running. And part of me wanted to, but part of me also thought, of course, struggling with, you know, the rent here, the rent at the shop, you know, all of our other projects, a lot of things were becoming overwhelming. And I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna sell it, I'm gonna get rid of it, I can't do this anymore. And then our friend Sam came, he was gonna buy it, and he convinced me to get back to working on it. He told me, hey dude, it's a clutch, very simple. So we ended up dropping the transmission. What do you know? The clutch was busted. As we're pulling the transmission out, clutch material was falling onto the floor. Clutch was torn to shreds. The release bearing was in 2 different pieces. So it was time for a clutch job. Clutch jobs on these cars are very expensive. So lucky enough, we got our friends over at Spec Clutch to give us a clutch kit for this car, which actually worked amazing. It bolted right in the car, super easy. The car programmed itself basically to relearn the clutch, figured it out really fast, first try, easy peasy, and we had a running driving M6. But of course, we weren't even close to being done there because the Achilles heel isn't the clutch in this car. The Achilles heel is the rod bearings. When you have an F1 derived high revving V10 engine, it likes to chew up rod bearings. So of course, we took care of the rod bearings, and then I had a somewhat reliable V10 supercar. You know, obviously it needed tires, it needed a little bit of love here and there, but we jumped straight to the most important thing, building a custom exhaust with a double X pipe, straight piped, no mufflers, all the way out to the back so that we could hear that beautiful V10. These cars from the factory have headers, which is crazy. They were able to, you know, make that all legal and everything, but they have legit headers that come off the engine. They're a piece of art. They are one of the reasons why this car sounds so great. Custom exhaust, we were able to hear the V10 engine roar. So the car was driving, it was sounding good, it was everything you could possibly want. But I had no plates, I couldn't take it, you know, past the street of our shop without getting pulled over. So it was time to get the car inspected. Now, the state of California issued new laws in this year where in order to get a car that's no title and get a salvage title issued, you have to pass a 2 billion point safety inspection. Well, that was gonna be a problem for me because we had some lights on the dash, one being the ABS system. So that was a massive hurdle. After calling the dealership, for the only ABS unit in existence, they wanted over $5,000 for it.
I do not have it in stock. We have 2 local in the warehouse. We can get it to you in the next 2 days. You're looking at $5,183 after taxes.
That wasn't gonna work. The ABS unit is right here. We took the ABS unit out, pulled it apart, and figured out that the copper brushes were getting stuck. Okay, pretty simple stuff. You know, you got copper brushes and drills, you go to the hardware store and pick them up. Well, you can't use those ones because they produce too much dust. So I needed to get the copper brushes from a BMW. So we went to the junkyard, we pulled out an ABS unit out of another E60, not an M6 or M5, and we took the copper brushes out of that unit. Remember, this is costing us 15 bucks for this part. We put it in this one, slap it in, bleed all the brakes, new brake fluid flush, and what do you know? We got working ABS. Finally, we had all the things, all the misfires, all the issues, the transmission lights, the ABS lights. We had a BMW dash that didn't look like a Christmas tree, which is pretty insane, especially for this car. So I was ready for the inspection. So we took it to the inspection station. Oh, and by the way, all the shops around us want like 500 bucks for the safety inspection because it takes all day long. And I don't want to pay that. So of course I find the one rinky-dink shop that charges 160. I did it and it failed. It had all kinds of issues because the struts were leaking fluid, the brake rotors were completely toast, you know, the seat belts didn't retract. So in the last video, we took care of all that stuff, banged it out, figured out how to do it on a budget, you know, used shocks, all kinds of awesome parts, whatever we can to do it fast, easy, and cheap. So I took it to the safety inspection and we finally passed. So I was able to go get a smog. Of course, in the process of this, I'm driving with no plates, so I'm getting pulled over every single day, left and right. I was able to sweet talk the cops to, you know, not giving me a ticket for that, luckily. So after safety inspection, smog, VIN inspection, I finally took it to the DMV to get the plates. And that's when the last hurdle hit me. They wanted to charge me thousands and thousands of dollars for registration on this car because it's been sitting in a junkyard for years and, you know, they haven't been collecting that registration. Well, I told them they go fuck themselves. There's no way in hell they're getting a dime out of me for the registration on a car that I wasn't owning at the time. I'm more than happy to pay for my own ownership. I'm not gonna pay for some other jackass's ownership. That's just not how it works. You know, of course, they tell me to get back in line. I'm at the DMV for like 10 hours, but I ain't taking shit from anybody. By the end of the day, I had all the fees waived, all that bullshit registration, all the crap, everything waived, and we finally got plates, which means it's time to absolutely rip it. It's time to go experience the full potential of that V10. See what it's like to own basically like a F1 car on public roads. You know, you could daily drive an F1 derived car. Total complete exaggeration by saying this is an F1 car, but you guys know what I mean, okay? I got the inspections and plates a few weeks ago. This car's been sitting right here in the driveway for a little while. In the last video, we redid the carbon roof, made it look a whole lot better for dirt cheap, just a couple cans of clear coat and a lot of sandpaper. I gotta put the moldings back. My old moldings were all trashed, so I bought some new used ones. So we gotta put those ones on. And then our front lip right now, falling off. So next time we take it to the shop, we're gonna have to figure out a better way to secure this, but we're gonna have to just pull it off for now. So let's get to work. This car has gotten so filthy, so we're gonna have to wash it. But I love this color because it's like a bluish silver. It stays clean, whereas like Lenny's M5, one day after not washing it, or the 440, one day of not washing it, it's just filthy. Whereas this, it's like, it doesn't look that dirty unless you get really close, and it's just been sitting. Got the brand used really is on, I bought this on eBay, so it's not perfect, but at least it's not all peeling and just completely trashed like the other ones were. And basically you got these little clips and you gotta put them in place right here. The only problem is that you kind of have to glue them down, and I don't have the proper adhesive. Okay, this one's popped into place. Luckily, some of the old clips were still working, so even though I don't have the glue, I was able to make it work. This one has a lot more of the clips. There's something really satisfying about working on your V10 Supercar, and I know this isn't like real work, I'm just clipping in a piece, but you know, I've gotten my hands dirty on this car enough for me to take some pride in this.
And by fix, he means remove. We screwed this in combination with tape at the shop. I was able to jam one of these nut busters in there, and I'm actually able to unscrew the bolt. Our geniuses put like hex screws and not like just normal screwdriver Phillips screws. Almost got it. There's that side. Yeah, why do we use these? Boom. All right, there we go. Next time we bring this to the shop, we'll probably reapply tape and put a lot more screws in it. Now the car looks worse. Looks like it's got an underbite or something. Oh well.
Okay, now it's time to clean the car, and we can go rip it. Okay, we're out here in Mexico where we could do a little bit less talking, a little more driving. Let's see what this baby can do. It does burnouts. Here we are driving the M6 out on the road for the first time, and it's quite an experience. Obviously, on these roads I get much faster than on those streets by the shop, but what a car. Driving this car feels, and I've never driven an F1 car, but it feels like I'm driving an F1 car that's like street legal and packaged up into a real car. That sound is just insane. The entire time you're driving it, you blink and your gas tank is empty because you never lift. Like, my foot is glued to the floor, just stepping on it and just moving. And then hearing that V10 sound is just insane. And then at the higher RPMs, you can hear the throttle bodies open up and you hear the induction sound, and it sounds like a scream. It kind of sounds like a hawk or eagle scream. You know, I could have spent a little bit more money and bought a nice one that wasn't broken, but I feel like I've really earned the privilege to drive this car after fixing every little stupid problem on this car. Yeah, this car could get you in a whole lot of trouble real fast. That power is addicting. It's kind of a little bit of a dog from 1 to 3,000 RPM, obviously, but once you start hitting 4, you just feel it. You're just like, fuck it, I'll go to jail today. It's worth it. Oh my God, the induction noises, guys. It's insane. It's like I'm driving a bald eagle on wheels. That's what it sounds like. It is just drinking fuel. This car is a gasoline-aholic. Okay, you know BMW is the ultimate driving machine. Well, this is the ultimate driving machine. The moment I sit my ass into these crusty seats, the moment I'm feeling that sticky and peeling leather interior, I'm not thinking about this being a luxury car. I'm thinking, holy cow, let me put my helmet on, I'm in a race car. That's what it's like. Every time I get in this car, I just want to put it instantly. My finger goes to smash that power button, smash the traction control button. Guys, to think that I was this close to selling this car, I would have probably never bought one again. I would have never known what it was like to drive it. I would have never experienced this naturally aspirated beast, which is what it is. All Beamers have turbos nowadays, which they're great, but a naturally aspirated V10, I mean, there's nothing topping that. I was this close. That this entire experience, me being here right now, would never exist. But thank God me and Lenny fixed it. Thank God we actually completed our mission and get to experience this. And I get to hopefully influence you to go buy one so that you could experience it yourself. And that's probably one of my favorite things about it, is that, yeah, Audi R8s are cool, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, they're all cool, but it's hard. It's very hard to be able to own a car like that. And a lot of people will never be able to own one of those in their lifetime. But for most people, I mean, even if you have like a pretty crappy job, if you could just save up a little money, maybe it takes a few years. It took me many years to get to where I am now. You could own a car like this, and you could experience what you would also experience in a Ferrari or Lamborghini or Audi R8. And people get turned off by the looks of this car. Yeah, it's not the prettiest looking car. You know, the front end looks like Sid the Sloth, but it's not about that. It's about having that high revving V10 engine. If there's anything that I can pass on to you, this is what I would say. Go out there and buy that car. It doesn't have to be this car. It could be any car you want. Specifically the one that you're scared to buy, because maybe people say it's a bad car because it breaks or this happens, but deep down inside you know that you want to buy that car. Go buy it. Even if you don't know what you're doing. I didn't know anything, and I'm a complete dumbass. and I bought this, and it's just, at the end of the day, nuts and bolts. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna push yourself to your absolute limit to figure out how to fix that car. You're gonna grow as a person, and you're gonna make a story. And at the end of the day, why do cars have value? Sure, they got all the fancy gadgets and gizmos, but every car has a story to it. We created a story with this car, and this car had a story before we owned it. But we have this story that will now stay in my brain for as long as I live, hopefully, and that's something you can't put a price on.